Good morning, everybody. Justin here with WisconsinWX.com. A lot to talk about, so let's get into it. These are the reports from Saturday. I know it says Sunday on the top there, but the map was created Sunday morning. Reports from Saturday, you're seeing some red dots down there. Those are tornado reports, but also funnel clouds. When we go and take a look at the loop, you're going to see this is just wait for it to reload for a second, but you're going to see the storms, a watch box, tornado watch box, and a bunch of tornado reports pop up, and then the storm's immediately weakening as it goes into central and southern Wisconsin, the rest of southern Wisconsin anyway. We had some more action there on Sunday. There was this line of storms that came through and fell apart, and then there was another cell that developed near Wabasha. You're seeing it right here that curves over through Eau Claire into northern Wisconsin. And then on Monday, you had, this has got to reload, but on Monday you're going to see that cell kind of go over into this area, and then new development happen across northeast Wisconsin. So you're seeing, here's that activity, kind of remnants of that Sunday night stuff, and then a new surge. So there was a lot of action this weekend, but I don't know how to word it. I wasn't too worried about it. Here's a picture from Doug Raflick from northern Illinois. I don't know exactly where, but it looks like there was a tornado there. That was maybe a weak one, but I watched the video from Doug, and there was a long period of time where it was kind of a funnel cloud, but every so often you see it punching the ground, making a connection there. So that was really, really cool. Thanks, Doug, for sharing that photo. And part of me wishes I was down there, but the other part of me was like, couldn't get there. So let's talk about it. Where I was, so on Saturday, like everybody this weekend, family, Memorial Day, I was out near Wild Rose, and I don't have access to the internet. Typically I do, but in this year with all the crazy stuff going on, just hasn't happened. What I did have was a cell phone text messaging, okay? And I'm signed up to the significant report distribution list on WisconsinWX.com. And so I was informed as soon as those reports came in of things that were going on in Wisconsin. Now, there might be a lag due to service issues, cell service issues, but yeah, I mean, I knew that there was tornadoes going on, so it's quite frustrating actually. But it was interesting. I'm glad I knew. But I don't know. I don't know if this is interesting to you. It's interesting to me, And then at least I have the information. If I needed to get to an internet or something like that, I could. But yeah, I mean, a lot of tornado reports there, but I don't know if they were actually confirmed tornadoes. So this is this is like an elephant in the room, right? Last Thursday, I posted to the Facebook page about, what was going on. I don't know. Perhaps I didn't want I want to be honest with people, and maybe I could use different words. Maybe the word choice is poor, but let me just read it to you so you can kind of hear me say it to you. Maybe it sound different, or you'll be received differently. Hey, Wisconsin Weather, just reaching out to let you know what's going on. Quite honestly, I've lost interest in what we've always done here on Facebook, okay? Social media. What we're doing on WisconsinWX.com is not necessarily what this is talking about, okay? 7-day forecast, snowfall predictions, frequent updates, storm report summaries. These are things we've done forever, and it's actually contributed to the growth of the page from 17,000 likes to 51,000. Pretty incredible growth. However, I just can't bring myself to do it anymore. And that sounds really bad. That sounds harsh. It sounds like I'm never going to do it again. I think maybe what I could have said is just taking a break, okay? What this does is, let me just go through the rest of it. While I might post stuff like that occasionally, don't expect it. That's key. I'm a rebel. If you know anything about rebels, we don't like expectations so much. We kind of like things to be sort of like, well, that's interesting, or how do I word it? I don't like expectations. There you go. I said that already. I operate on a call to action, which is interesting. Because I don't feel like on a daily basis, I don't feel like I have to like produce things every day for the rest of my life. I feel like I am called to something and then I go do it. If I don't feel that call or the need or the urge, then why do it? And sometimes I find it hard to do things motivational wise without that call to action. I hate routines. I hate because I'm a rebel. When I feel there is no need, I move on. That's basically what I just said. I won't be a slave to the system. I've turned my focus towards storm chasing. We will see what opportunities come for that. Now, it sounds like I've totally turned my back on everything I ever did just doing storm chasing. That's not true. Thank you for all your support over the years. I understand this may not be what you signed up for, right? So if you liked the page in the last 3 months and thought you were getting this, and this, and now I'm done doing it, I just want to recognize that, I understand that. And I understand if you if you need to part ways, whatever. I'm trying to get us all back on the same page because for me, for a long time, I don't feel like when I go to write something on Wisconsin weather, I can't find the words. And it's almost like we're on two separate wavelengths. Okay, so I'm trying to get us all back on the same page. And this is just one way of me expressing how that's going to happen, or my plan, anyways. I hope you will continue this journey with me. And this is sort of an opt-in situation, right? So if you're somebody who, you're just kind of along for the ride, you find it interesting, but you're not, how do I word this? How do I word this? I'm giving you the chance to join me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not forcing you into it. This is not something, like I said, if we have to part ways, that's fine. I appreciate the honesty, okay? If you still want, so basically I conclude this way. If you still want the traditional forecasting experience, you can find me on Wisconsin Bears because this is where we're doing it all anyways, okay? This is where it starts. This is the beginning point. Why would I repeat myself 3 or 4 times? You know what I mean? Like, and why do I need to repeat the same update 10 times prior to the event? You know what I mean? If I make a forecast on Monday and the event's on Thursday, why do I need to repeat myself every single day? You assume that things are changing that much that I need to, you know what I mean? So it's one of those complicated things. I understand. Thank you and take care is how I ended. But basically, let me summarize this. Let me go back to, let me just say this, okay? I love Facebook. I loved it more when there wasn't so much crap going on because there's a lot of crap going on Facebook. And I'm just trying to get everybody back on the same page. I'm not saying that I'm done. I'm not saying that I have no passion for it. I'm just saying I have to try something different. Now, think of this, okay? Now, if we always did the same things forever and always, okay, every single day, always the same thing, you become a robot, okay? You become a slave to the system. And I think like when I think of like the news stations, media, and all that stuff, I feel like the meteorologist on TV, with the nice suit and this big smile and a nice pretty face. Maybe I'm not that person, and then the more I think about it, I'm really not that person. I just want to do something different. After a certain point, you just become this like robot. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a robot. I want to be something. I want to see where my passion takes me. We have the freedom. I mean, think of how immensely flexible the platform we've created is. Wisconsin Weather, Facebook, YouTube. YouTube is different. And the website, we can do anything we want at any time. And as being a rebel, as I mentioned, that's sort of interesting to me. I like to use that to our advantage. Okay, because there's other pages that they have to do this. They are mandated. It's almost like they are slave to it. Okay, we're not. I'm not. We're not going to be that way. We're going to be something different. Okay, so please be patient. I understand if you just want like to get the normal media, normal meteorologist on TV, if you just want to get that soft serve information on Facebook, go follow those pages. Okay, you don't have to stay here with me. I appreciate the honesty. I'd rather you go and do what you got to do. Okay, but anyways, I'll wrap it up there. Just watch what happens. Okay, just watch what happens because I'm really. The storm chasing season for me really hasn't even started, and there's something out there that I'm trying to find something. Okay, I'm going after something. I'm looking for the right opportunity. There's something there. Okay, so just hang in there. Anyways, all right, back to the weather. 7-day forecast. Again, like I said in my previous update, I'm not really into the 7-day forecast. I've never really been, but this is okay. When I look at this, it's sort of like benchmarks or like a general guideline. It's not like it's going to be 81 degrees today. It might be 84, it might be 80, and it depends on your location. But just kind of getting the general feel for things as you go through the next 7 days. It looks like it's warm here on Wednesday, the chance of rain through Thursday, and then a cold front coming in hopefully reducing some of those the moisture and the dew points in the air, and then into the weekend, perhaps warming up next week. Here's the temperature forecast. You're seeing that, yes, we may dip below average Friday and Saturday, but we've been above for the last few days, certainly last weekend. And then we may end there on Sunday, Monday. The very first, I think Monday is June 1st. Right away there, heading back to near average, if not above. Okay. Here's the dew points. This was at 8 a.m. It's now 9 a.m. But you're seeing, this is pretty good for me. Pretty moist. This is like midsummer moisture. here, around here. Okay, now I don't know where I was going with this. Maybe this is out of order, but where are we heading, right? Because we're here now. I think that's Sunday. We're gonna go to Monday, and then we're gonna go. So you're seeing what the evolution here is. You're seeing this cutoff. It's almost a cutoff, low pressure cutoff trough here, drifting eastward across the United States. This is what happened already, and then it becomes cut off across the southern United States, central United States. This is not a typical evolution for severe weather season here in the plains. And then by later this week, you're going to see this cutoff low try to become re-aggregated with a trough that's dipping down out of the west northwest, that flow there, and a cold front coming through at the same time. But really, you're seeing a lot of positive height anomalies. This is the jet stream basically. You're seeing a lot of positives. So this is indicating a ridge here. A ridge is going to be moving into this central part of the United States already. But anyways, like I said, it's important to note that this has not been a typical storm chasing year for the plains. I think it's a very down year. And it's actually interesting to watch it this last week. And I think a lot of people who were planning to go into Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Texas at this point actually were kind of close to Wisconsin. They were in Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, maybe even. They were out, but not where they typically are. But anyways, what's going to happen, right, here at the 500 millibar level, these height anomalies, suggesting this ridge is going to slide into the central part of the United States for early June. We'll see the timing on that. Maybe it's going to be a week into June. This is June 1st. You're seeing just the beginning parts of that. I know this time of year, sometimes the timing doesn't go exactly as planned. But yeah, and then by the time we get to June 3rd on this ensemble spread, this, again, timing is flexible. But early June, you're seeing that ridge moving. And that would suggest warmer than average temperatures. Here's just the European, at the far extent of its range, the European ensemble is just showing you that height anomaly, the ridge building across central Wisconsin, central United States. In terms of temperature, this is a 5-day block from, looks like June 3rd to June 8th. You're seeing the warmth out here right now. But then as time goes on, it slides eastward and goes into Wisconsin more so. Even in this time frame, you're seeing that it's warm here, above average for Wisconsin. So it looks like we're heading to above average temperatures in June. Just for showing you, just to be fully transparent here, the precipitation looks like we would dry out across this region and perhaps staying wet there in that first week or two. I know that in June, it's really going to be interesting to see how this pattern evolves, because with this ridge coming in, and I think this is what I was trying to get at. This is the 250 millibar. This is like the polar subtropical jet, just showing you over the last few days how that low pressure system cut off, and then try to get re-aggregated into this pattern here. This like a little kind of goes up in there like that. But you're seeing here, as we go through time, the steering pattern is more out of the northwest with this big ridge in here. Oh, I deleted my white. I deleted my illustration, my drawing tools, but you're seeing that as you come out of here, central Canada down into Wisconsin, that jet stream is an interesting flow, and then this ridge will here be pumping moisture and heat. And then the collision zone is probably going to be somewhere across the upper Mississippi Valley, including Wisconsin, in June. So I think June's going to be the severe weather month for our area. And I think July could be too. It could be an average year, but we'll see. This is still some more geopotential height. Now, this is the GFS operational model, so this is probably a little bit less predictable. But yeah, you're seeing that heat ridge there. But really, I'm not seeing that as much in the operational models. The northwest to southeast flow across the upper Midwest. That's really the key part of the pattern, in my opinion, as we go forward. So, anyways, we already showed you that. This is just the jet stream pattern again, just showing you what I just talked about into the next week or two. As far as temperatures go, you could see more 80s and 90s across this region of the United States. It could get warm. It could get very warm, but we'll see. Precipitation, just kind of going through now. I think we kind of covered that so pretty well. The next event that I'll be talking about is Thursday. It looks like that cold front's going to come through. You can see it right here. And sometimes that shows up the best with the moisture. You can see that this is the 850 millibar dew point temperature. And you're seeing that gets kicked out there on Thursday. So humidity will drop by Friday. It looks like maybe sticking around. It's going to stay humid now. It's summer, but not as humid in that northwest flow regime. You're seeing that dry air coming from the continent here. This is all continental dry air, and even Arctic dry air coming down, kicking out that moisture. So that's interesting, an interesting way to look at. Now let's do the high resolution NAM model for the next few days. You can go on back to this. You're seeing that Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to have some rain chances. So the high res NAM here showing us, this is about right now, and then as we go through time. Tonight, looks like there's going to be a chance for rain developing, and it's kind of hitting in this area of more of the central Wisconsin zone as opposed to western as it's been the last couple of days. And you're seeing that just kind of boils up. Nothing too crazy, nothing too organized. Severe weather-wise, it's not organized enough. But there on Thursday during the midday hours, once the heat and humidity builds up again, I think we could see some activity blossoming across central and or southern Wisconsin. We'll see about that. I don't think it's going to be severe necessarily, but just keep an eye on it. Maybe strong, maybe similar to what it's been the last couple of days in western Wisconsin. And then as we go into Thursday night, this is 7 p.m. Thursday. You're seeing the rain chance there across Wisconsin still in that zone. And then finally, it's kind of slow, but finally moving out there overnight into Friday morning with that cold front bringing relatively drier air. And I just showed you that. Okay, now the Spc Convective Outlook just has this thunderstorm threat across the region. I'm probably not going to make an event forecast for either day. Just not high enough of a concern there. So this is the other thing that's really heavy on my mind. The forecast for the month for me, I had that below average fuzz floating around. I had below average precipitation amounts really across the southeast Wisconsin zone. And that's exactly the same place where they have above average. I mean, well above average precipitation. Most of that coming in 1 or 2 days, okay? But I find it interesting that you have that dry zone over here. And this data only goes to the 25th. I know it's the 27th now, and things have changed out here in western Wisconsin. But, I mean, is it a matter of taking that dry zone and just shifting it over, 100 to 200 miles? Or was I just totally off there? I don't know. We're going to find out here. In June, we always do the analysis. At the beginning of June, I'll do an analysis on me to figure out how close were we. I just don't know if I don't feel very good about it. But anyways, I think that, you're looking at a -2 to -3 precipitation departure here in inches across southwest Wisconsin as of the 25th. So that's pretty substantial. Meanwhile, you have a 4 to 5 inch plus surplus across far eastern Wisconsin. Quite the contrast in there. I don't know how you could ever forecast that out. I'm doing mine a month ahead of time. That's pretty crazy. Here's the temperature, just showing you below average still, but it's going to be improved. I think you could end up near average by the time everything is all said and done. Okay, I wanted to show you this because this is where you sign up for the Wisconsin Significant Storm Report Distribution List. If you're a member, you just click this box. And this is kind of the criteria for that: wind gusts over 80 miles per hour, hail of 3 inches or greater in diameter, and a tornado report. Those are the types of things that get sent out to your phone when it happens anywhere in Wisconsin. I decided not to do location sensitive. I just think it's interesting. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. All right. And then this is the weather website. Again, this whole thing with the corona stuff, it's really been hard on me. It's hard on everybody. I find myself a lot of times having good days and then really bad days. And it's hard to get any sort of consistency or flow going. Today is a good day. I think there's a lot of things I could do here to add content to the website. But what I'm also thinking about is what is that next step, right? Because if you go back to the Facebook page and that post that I had last Thursday about I just can't do it anymore, what are some things we can change here on the website that makes it more in line with, my overall interests? There's things, like I said, the 7-day kind of just, it's almost like cannon fodder. It's just like it's almost like based on the premise that it's just naturally going to be wrong every time. And I don't like that idea. I don't like to settle for mediocrity. Like, I want things to be as good, as they can be. So anyways, just things I'm thinking about. But yeah, there's things that I want to change. I just don't know how to change it. In the past, I've been pretty destructive about things like, oh, I'm not going to use that ever again. So poof, delete it, recycle bin, done. But now it's sort of like, okay, maybe we extended a little bit too far, and it's time to pull it back into that niche. Okay, what is that niche? That's what I'm trying to figure out, and I don't have the answers. Nobody does. What we've built here is just totally, it's never been done before. So how could we, how could we say we know exactly what to do? It's very much an experiment. It's very much an evolving situation. So I appreciate you. If you are on the website, if you are a member, I appreciate your support. To my page, I understand. Maybe it's even frustrating sometimes trying to figure out, what am I doing? I don't even know sometimes, okay? But we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out together. And I'm excited. Like I said, this is my time of the year, storm chasing. We'll figure out what comes out of that, because there's a lot of times I'll be driving, on my way there or back from a storm chasing, and boop. Oh, that's an interesting idea. I should do that on the website. And that's what I need. I really need to chase a storm in the worst way. So thank you very much for listening and watching. Wherever you are, Facebook or YouTube, I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.